Did you manage to catch up on Park to Prem over the weekend? I certainly hope you did. We're back. Episode number 88 and the final episode of the season. The FA Cup three-peat is very much the aim today. To kick things off, we have got the semi-final against Brighton, a game that I really feel like we should be winning, and if we do win it, we take on Tottenham for the third time at Wembley this year. They managed to break Swansea hearts by scraping through on penalties against the Championship side, and having come runner-up to them in the Carabao Cup, runner-up to them in the Community Shield. I just want to beat them once at Wembley to end the season. It's the end of season number 11. We've got to talk about the future of this series as well towards the end of things today. Let's run the intro and we'll get straight into things, shall we? Yes, folks, I hope you guys had a lovely weekend. Warm welcome back, and it's Park to Prem. In case you missed things over the weekend, we had some streams of the new Gibraltar save game. I hope you're able to catch up on those. And on Friday, there was a bonus upload. I talked about it a bit in Friday's video. If you didn't see it, bit of a blockbuster, bit of an experiment. If you did watch it, I very much hope you enjoyed it. Now, of course, last episode, we crashed out the Champions League by losing to Newcastle over 2 legs 4-6. And sadly, that was the most recent game. We've had to dust ourselves off really promptly here, and this semi-final against Brighton comes just 4 days later. Besides that, there are just 6 games left of the Premier League season, but it does look like a foregone conclusion. We are going to retain the Premier League title. Newcastle were at one point our big rivals. They've fallen off the pace, and besides themselves and Man City, no one's really been close. But anyway, to kick things off today, we are going to get straight into this FA Cup semi-final. In terms of team news, Jonathan Banks still out injured. I'm still bitter about the fact he was injured last video. It really sucked. In terms of the rest of the team, well, it's pretty much full strength. Although I said that last match and it was not enough. Brighton, who we take on today, currently 7th in the Premier League. I'm not expecting them to be pushovers. They have got a little bit of quality in their ranks. Now, last time we took on Brighton, we actually lost, so I feel like we've got a little bit of revenge to exact on them today. You can see the team here. Very strong starting 11. Kobe Mainu, of course, a bit of a makeshift shadow striker for us. On their side of things here, they are playing a 4-3-3, and you'll note here, their recent form hasn't been perfect. Now, because they are playing this wider style of play where they have got a very solid midfield setup, when it comes to our own tactical instructions for this game, in possession, I'm actually going to not have any specific way we force through the play. Instead, we're going to look to mix things up, look to be a bit flexible with our build-up play. You look to utilise, I suppose, that space that hopefully our defensive mids are going to find themselves in. Anyway, Moretti for them has an early set piece. Brighton have on occasion caused an upset against us, so I'm very much going into this with an open mind, wary of the fact we need to be at our best. And after last episode's defensive action, I'm hoping for this game here at Wembley, we're going to be able to do better. Moretti plays it inside. Wallace manages to clear it away. Barrett wins the header. Could we launch a counter-attack here? If we're going to do it, it's going to have to come with players carrying the ball, because there's not many players ahead of the ball right now. Wallace to Mainu. Nice build-up play. Flood. White. This is scintillating. This is sexy. Ajaria's on the overlap. There's 3 players in the middle queuing up. Ajaria plays it patiently to Flood. Dinked into Brennan, who finishes it. And oh my word, it's one of the best goals we've scored all season. It wasn't like it was a crazy long shot, although the finishing off the crossbar was extremely satisfying. But the actual build-up play was just delightful. Flood chips it in. Brennan pings it, keeper got a hand to it, wasn't enough. If you are wondering, by the way, Jack, what happens if you don't win the FA Cup semi-final and make it to the final today? What's the last match of the video? I've not thought about it. I'm going to just try and remain positive. We're going to win this one, I hope. I mean, we're favourites. We really should be beating Brighton. So far, we've been on the front foot. That header there was not far wide of the mark for Phillips. But you know what? A goal to the good. Defensively, we've looked shambolic at times this year, so I'm not going to take for granted a goal lead this early on. Heck, a 2-goal lead I wouldn't take for granted at this point, although we could make it a 2-goal lead, because Andy White's in behind, and but for a save by Spike Brits, it would have been 2. 20 minutes into this game, Brighton yet to have a shot on goal. This cross is floated to the back post. Phillips goes down in a heap. The referee has given a penalty. I think this is going to be a penalty for us, and before Brighton have had a shot on target, a shot on goal full stop, maybe a chance from the spot to double our lead. It's going to be Kobe Mainu over it. Can he finish on the big stage? The centre attacking mid steps up, he strikes his penalty, keeper goes the wrong way, Mainu went literally the right way into the bottom right corner. Brighton with a mountain to climb. I feel like over the course of this year, we've very much proven that we are one of the elite teams in European and English football. We just struggle against the very biggest of the big dogs. You know, give us someone outside the top 6. We should beat them handsomely, which is at least what we're doing for now. Again, not going to take it for granted just yet. Against the big teams, we just lack that extra little bit of quality. Of course, in this game here, we are without the biggest bit of quality, I suppose, in Johnny Banks. But Mainu has scored from the spot, and he's been involved in this build-up play again here. Wallace is cutting inside. The left-back skips past his man, shoots. I mean, it would have been another moment of brilliance by Gavin Wallace. Sadly, the keeper denies him. Andy White over the corner. Whips in here post. Phillips is unmarked. You cannot do that with that man. It's his 3rd of the year, and it's the 3rd of the day for us. Big question marks over the marking here. I mean, what were they doing? No one jumped with him. It's as simple as they come. Corner for Brighton on the near side here. Moretti is going to be the man to whip in the cross, or is he? He goes short. I've fallen for it. Our defence maybe has too. That goes all the way across goal. Mainu with a heroic tackle. Just 5 minutes left of this half. Brighton have created a little bit more, but they've started doing that at 3 goals down. And I'm afraid to say that is feeling like a little too late, even with another half of football to be played here. We've looked very, very good. Henderson, well, with an opportunity maybe to put the cherry on top. At 3 goals down, I'm still wary. We nearly bottled 3 goals against Ajax. A 4th goal here, that would be that. Lovely build-up play by Brennan. Hadswell inside. What a beautiful goal that could have been. Okay, at the break, it is 3-0 in this game. I feel like right now is a good time to let you know that if you're watching this video the day it goes up on YouTube, probably live on Twitch right now if you're watching within the first few hours. We're going live this afternoon with more of the Gibraltar save game. You know, hashtag ad. Even though I'm advertising myself. I feel like below the stream or the video, there'll be like a little live circle on the YouTube profile if I'm still live. Come watch me if I am. Anyway, as for things here, probably should change things up. Although, to be honest, this game kind of feels done at this point. Sheldon on, Steele on. I'm going to bring in a Kenner as well. In a weird way, I feel like I'm almost making sentimental subs here, knowing it's the penultimate game of the season. Sean Steele, Sheldon, a Kenner. A Kenner's obviously not been a player who's made his mark on the team just yet. Maybe in years to come he could do that. I'll tell you what, after an absolutely bombastic, fantastic first half, this second half has definitely cooled down just a little bit. Not to say that we're content with 3, mind you. We're still very much on the attack. Well, as we were for a moment there. The ball is half cleared away. Maybe a Jaria to inspire something outside of his natural habitat. The right back finds himself on the left wing. He's now at the edge of the box, actually, if we could find him. We do find him. I really wanted him to score that, and he's just not. 2 minutes left of this game. Would love to keep the clean sheet now. You know, Football Manager. If I wanted to make a request, clean sheet now would be nice to keep. Are we going to keep it? Oh, that was a little bit of a scare. And with that, this game is done. 3-0 result. Ashley Phillips, player of the match. Great to get a clean sheet. Never really felt in doubt, in all honesty. And of course, with this result, we do set ourselves up for a beautiful, great narrative FA Cup final. Tottenham, a team who have beaten us twice in finals at Wembley this year already. Going to be looking to make it 3. I really hope they fail. Now, annoyingly, the FA Cup game actually comes before the final Premier League game of the year. But you know, we won't question it, Football Manager. You do you. We take them on the 13th of May. It's a month away. Don't go anywhere. I really want to beat them. I really want to beat them. Figure we should come back for this moment. The end of the season. 3-1 win. Premier League title wrapped up. Actually, I say it's the end of the season. Still 3 games left. But why not embrace and enjoy this moment? We've romped home to victory in what is kind of our home stadium here at the London Stadium, taking on West Ham. And we are going to get to hoist the Premier League trophy aloft for a 2nd year in a row. Cementing what I feel like now is a little bit of a Wanderers era. Naturally, I want the FA Cup for a 3rd year in a row to really cap things off. But look at this, rocking our 3rd black and purple kit, the confetti to match. It feels a little emo, doesn't it? We're going to celebrate a 3-1 win. And more importantly, we're going to celebrate a 2nd Premier League title. Going to tell the players I'm very happy with that. What a moment to enjoy. And yeah, as you can see there, 12 points clear, 3 games left. Man City managed to win. Was not enough for them. Now, interesting to note, we've got both Tottenham and Manchester United in our next 2 league games. Probably going to rest up the team a little bit heading into those. In 2 weeks' time, we're at Wembley for the FA Cup final. And I'll be back then too. Okay, it is FA Cup final time. And you know things are serious because I've activated the standing desk. 2 games played after that West Ham match. The first, Tottenham defeat. Yeah, we lost 2-1 in this one. Not ideal. did rotate the team a little, but to be honest, I think this is the game that looks the best, isn't it? 3-2 win against Manchester United. What makes it better? Set piece goals by Branthwaite. We really rotated the team for this one. We're very rested for the final now. But before we do play that final, we need to have a talk about the future of this series. And I don't know if this is going to come as a shock to some people. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Today is the final episode, at least of the main series. We will have the in the future episodes that I traditionally do. I'm interested to see how the AI does with the English-only transfer restriction. But I do feel like the series for the last year or two has just been kind of reaching a natural conclusion. When I started this save game, FM25 was still going to be coming out in February, March time. I never really intended for the series to go on beyond kind of 10 seasons. We're now in the 11th year, having won the Premier League twice in a row, and of course having the opportunity today to do the three-peat of the FA Cup for 3 years in a row. It just feels like quite a good endpoint to me. That, and if I'm being honest, when it comes to this save game as a whole, I am struggling to find the energy that I had seasons ago for it. We've had now 6 seasons in the top flight. From a transfer point of view, every season for the last kind of couple of years has been 1, maybe 2 major additions to the squad. But with the transfer restriction we have, there just isn't that ability to do wheeling and dealing. And I do feel like we're hitting almost a natural ceiling now with the team, with the restriction of the English-only players, where I don't necessarily know how much I can improve the team without it turning just into a little bit of a grind where we're playing for a number of seasons, just improving one position at a time. I think a big indicator of that, to be honest, is when you look at the national team now. I don't think I've ever had so many England nationals in the team. We have 8 players. We have more than a third of the England squad in our ranks, and they're all players, for the most part, just entering their prime now. And I'm fully aware there are going to be people saying, well, what about the Champions League? Well, I'm going to be honest, the Champions League was never really the aim with this save game. And whilst it would have been really nice to win it, I feel like with the Champions League, we just need to have one good year where we go on a lucky run. That could happen as soon as next year. It could have happened this year with a bit more luck. But I don't really want to drag out the save game to a point where I'm just playing every season exclusively to try and get a tiny bit further in the Champions League. It's not really my idea of fun. And based on, to be honest, the views on the series lately, I don't think it's your guys' ideas of fun. Maybe for some of you it is. For people who have stopped watching the series, who inevitably, they're not watching this right now as I talk to you about it. They're not here to explain it's not fun. Views on the series have been declining as well, being completely honest. I feel like we've hit this natural point where there's a ceiling. People have seen us win a lot of games this year, and they're bored of it. And that is kind of fair enough. And for me personally, I don't want to play this save game or force myself to play it and not enjoy it anymore. And I feel like I'm still enjoying it right now. Will I be enjoying it beyond this year? I can't guarantee myself that. And I think the series, the video, the content is better when I am enjoying it. And it does open up the opportunity by ending the series now just to focus on streaming Football Manager for the next couple of weeks, sprinkling in a few different videos. Of course, if you watch the videos at midday, good news is I'm going to be trying to stream a lot of weekdays at midday anyway. So if you're missing your Football Manager, it still will be here at the usual time and place. Anyway, I hope you guys can understand and kind of respect that decision that's being made. I fully appreciate for some of you, it might feel like it's come a little out of nowhere. I have been trying to drop hints of it. I don't always know if they're obvious and people catch on to them. Maybe you've had that vibe through this whole year. Anyway, knowing that this is now the final FA Cup final that we're going to play, and I feel like it really elevates the stakes today, I want to win it 3 times in a row. It'd be a monumental achievement to do, especially given the history of Wanderers as the first team to win the FA Cup 3 years in a row. And against the old enemy in Tottenham, I'll tell you what, it'd feel really, really sweet if we could beat them today. I suppose the great news is, when I line up the team of kind of the best possible starting 11, including, you might have noticed here, an Alfie Dorrington coming back from injury, this feels like a team that can beat Tottenham today. I say that knowing full well I've said that a number of times over the save game. Look, we've played Tottenham a lot. We've only won 1 of the last 5 meetings against them. We've lost against them in the Community Shield and the EFL Cup this year. We lost to them in the Champions League quarter-final last year. We lost them in an EFL Cup final in 2031. I'll tell you what, the biggest shame about today is that this isn't actually the final game of the season and I've got a game against Liverpool, because what a final game this is from a narrative point of view. I don't want my lasting memory of this Wanderers team to be us bottling another cup final against Tottenham, missing out on this opportunity to win 3 FA Cups in a row. I want to win it. I want to have etched into my memory, well, just the boys lifting the trophy, Andy White, Ajaria and friends just celebrating and partying together. I really want them to pull it off today. Okay, well, early action in this game. Of course, when we took on Tottenham in the EFL Cup final, they scored in the last 5 minutes and we just didn't have enough time really to respond. In the Community Shield, it went to penalties where they pegged us back from behind to get a result. We need to be at our best here, and we are not at our best right now. They've scored again. And if there was a game where I wanted Caleb Ampson to really stand up and be counted, I'll be honest, it was this match. And opposed to standing up and being counted, I'll be honest, he sat down and he's not done his job there. Yeah, I mean, it's been smashed hard and low. The Football Manager goalkeeper animations just never make goalkeepers look good. I feel like I've said that so many times in the last few years. I will defend Caleb Ampson to the end of time. Again, another downside of this whole English-only thing, there just isn't a better goalkeeper out there. And, well, to make things worse, they're on the attack again. I'm going to need him to make some saves, I feel like, today. Nati's in behind, he finishes it, he's offside, it won't count. But I'm not liking what I'm seeing here. Cordero is having far too much freedom in this game, so I'm going to change things up. Flood is going to go to deep line playmaker. I'm going to change Hatswell as well to a DM on support. And in possession, I'm going to get rid of the underlap right-hand side instruction. Cordero at centre attacking mid is their main man. I feel like the defensive midfielder can maybe try and counteract this guy, but he is the kind of player who's almost too good to be contained in FM. I feel like I should use the standing up desk more. I feel like it adds a bit of gravitas to the situation, perhaps. You know, the significance of this game is emphasised by the fact I'm stood up, I'm ready to express my excitement, my sadness, my jubilation. Whatever emotions it is I indeed end up feeling by the end of this. I'm hoping it's positive emotions. Andy White, can you give me a little dopamine here? He gives it to Hatswell, who's going to play it through the middle to Bennett. Lovely build-up play here. Hatswell with it again as the DM. Brennan, Ajaria. Options, that's a crunching tackle. The ref's given a penalty there. VAR is going to check this. It looked like a clean tackle to me. But Football Manager's weird, isn't it? Sometimes you have animations that look great and then it's given as a foul. Is this going to be a pen? Is it? It is. We didn't even get the confirmation. And who else to step up but Banks? He has been so good from the spot for us here. Can he draw us level? For a moment, I thought he blasted it over. He finds the roof of the net. It's his 19th of the year. I'm still sad he was missing in the Champions League knockouts. He gave the keeper the eyes, and I'll tell you what, that no goalkeeper's saving that penalty. That was perfect. Okay, well, 26 minutes into this game, it's 1-1 already. Obviously, it was 1-1 in the Community Shield final, 2-1 in the EFL Cup final. Is the FA Cup final going to have a few more goals? It feels like it might. Agado, inside, pulls it back. Ajaria, great tackle. He's given a penalty again. Referee, what are you doing? Kirsty Dowell, Kirsty, why are you doing this to me? Penalty review, please rule it out. Ajaria with a perfectly good tackle. And VAR has saved us. I've always rated VAR. Now we have a corner. Of course, Dorrington and Phillips, both formerly, if I'm not mistaken, have played for Tottenham Hotspur. They're both in the box there. I think it was Dorrington who won that header. Couldn't keep it down. I feel like I want to check this now. Yeah, Phillips definitely played for Tottenham. And Alfie Dorrington, yeah, again, played for Tottenham. All these players, English international centre-backs that Tottenham never gave a chance to. We've brought them in. We've given them a second chance. It's like rehabilitating wild animals or something. We've brought them in. We've raised them up to full fitness. Oh my word, I thought that was going to deflect in. That's a good save, Caleb. It was quite simple, mind you. Just 5 minutes left of the half here. Tottenham have had one shot on target. By comparison, we've had only 3. But our XG's a lot higher. Obviously, the penalty kind of helps inflate that. Tottenham have had a lot of the ball, and they are ending this half perhaps on top. Erdale bringing it forward on the far side. Lays it inside to Angelo. Brazilian, of course. Dispossessed by Flood. Lovely tackle by Carl Flood. He's been here since League One. He's still putting in the tackles. Andy White's been here since the National League. Hatswell plays it forward. Barrett's getting in behind. It's a 50-50. Barrett's battling away. It falls to Brennan. It trickles into the back of the net. And it's 2-1 before the break. It's not the prettiest goal. It's one of the weirdest goals I've ever seen in Football Manager. It's occurred in the FA Cup final. I do not care. Barrett, the 50 caliber cannon. Well, he gets it through here. He has a tackle that's blocked. Petkovic is then robbed of the ball and Brennan's shot deflects and just about trickles in. 2 minutes left of the half. I'd be quite content to go in 2-1 up at the break. We've been the better team in this game. I feel like fitness is maybe on our side as well. I'm going to praise the players here. I mean, looking at their fitness levels, they've definitely got some players struggling in their ranks. You can see in the final third, by comparison, fresher legs for us. Maybe that can benefit us. As 10 minutes into this second half, nothing is happening, and that kind of suits me at this moment in time. feel like the defensive mid change that we made with the deep line playmaker and defensive mid so far has worked. I really hope I've not just jinxed it. Nati's played in behind. It's dinked towards him. They're going to keep the ball alive on the left-hand side. Lopez from range. I mean, it feels like at this point it might take a moment of brilliance for Tottenham to get a goal. Didn't quite get delivered there. Okay, in this game, Carl Flood struggling a little bit for legs, not having the best of games. I'm going to bring in Kobe Mainu. Elsewhere in the team, I'm not going to throw him under the bus. I kind of am. Andy White's been poor. Marcus Sheldon on Newcombe, a man who's been here since we were in the Championship. In his 7th season with the club, club legend comes on. I'm going to hope he can have the desired impact in this one. Elsewhere, Gavin Wallace, I'm going to bring in for Lloyd Weston, who has had a stronger end to the season than Gavin, I think it's safe to be said. But Gavin, fresh legs on the left-hand side. Going to hope that he and Sheldon can try and make something happen for us. Ajaria misses a tackle there. Tottenham now bringing it forward. Hatswell wins it nicely. Kobe Mainu slotting in Regista. Anson, what are you doing? I've stood by you, mate. I've backed you, mate. You've given it away. And they've scored. I kind of want to release Caleb Anson right now. I've trusted him so much. I don't have the in-game editor enabled on this save game. I really want to download like one of the third-party tools that lets me look at goalkeepers and see, is Anson actually the best English goalkeeper that I could have? Like, is there someone better out there that I've just been blind to? Or is this just the fate that I've sealed for myself by just the misfortune of England not producing a goalkeeper in 11 years? It's 2-2. There's 15 minutes left. Can you tell I'm absolutely fuming? Maybe. I don't think I'm hiding it very well. Is it reactionary to sub off Caleb Anson in the last ever game of this series? I don't think it is. I'm going to take him off. Barrett's been poor today as well. I'm going to bring in Steele. I say that. Barrett did get an assist, but besides that, he's not done a great deal. So fresh legs on, 8 minutes left. I feel like we do have a bit of depth in the final third. Benefits us when we're chasing games like this one rather than trying to defend. Lead. Sheldon hits the woodwork. It falls back to Ajaria, who shoots, and Petrovic makes another stop. We are creating stuff. It was in the script for Sheldon to make something happen. Match momentum since they've scored has swung back in our favour. 4 minutes of added time. Are we heading to extra time here? Oh my word, we actually are. Tottenham, we lost them on penalties in the Community Shield. We lost them 2-1 in the AFL Cup final. I'm going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. And then I kind of want to encourage them. I kind of want to just try and get some green, happy, smiley faces along the bottom. The encouraged shout comes through. If we score, it's because shouts are overpowered. Hatswell picks out Wallace, the left back, bringing it forward. Afforded space. And for a moment, I thought Gavin was going to score. It's actually gone out for a corner. 27 minutes left here before the dreaded penalty shootout. We don't have good penalty takers. We're an all-English team. Dorrington wins the header. And I mean, what do you say? Our XG is over 2 goals better than theirs today. We've absolutely dominated the game. Shea Salmon's not been called into action yet in goal. We've brought him in now, Steele, with a crunching tackle. Kirsty's given another penalty. Kirsty, what are you doing? VAR ruled out one already. It's very rare that they get ruled out. VAR, is it going to give it or deny it? It's not. Kirsty is a Tottenham fan. No one can convince me otherwise. VAR is on our side. And there's 15 minutes left. It's still 2-2. What a way to end this series. We are 15 minutes away from a penalty shootout. One last shout of encourage. Banks is absolutely exhausted. Bernard Brennan is done. Akena, on you come. That is my final sub. That is all that she wrote. They've got a corner. Oh my word. Okay, it's just shown because I was making subs. That was a bit of a panicky moment, wasn't it? One last shout I was going to do of encourage. I won't do it. Hands off the wheel. We're on the attack. Ajaria, options in the middle. It's pulled back. Ikena goes down. Imagine another penalty at this point. Ball played forward. Cordero, their main man, is still on the pitch. It's Cordero versus Banks in the middle. They've come away with it. Marcus Aurelio for Tottenham. They're on the attack. I do not like this. They've got players unmarked in the middle. Lopez is surely going to float this ball into the box eventually. Sheldon puts in half a tackle. Falls to Lopez. It's cleared away by Sheldon. There was composure needed there, and he did not have the desired composure to deal with things well. Sarr, they're playing it so nicely. Cordero shoots from range. I'm glad Salmon thought that was going wide because I was not sure. Mind you, they've got a corner. Nati whips in. Not like this. It floats up in the box. Ajaria hoofs it away from danger. Sheldon in a 2-on-1 at the back. I mean, he's all on his lonesome. He's got to do a moment of magic. Sheldon skips past his man, Wallace, Banks. It's played back. And Tottenham have the ball again. There's 4 minutes of added time. I feel like there's a late goal here. I don't feel like we're going to penalties. Hatswell with it. Plays it forward. Is a Kenner on? There's options in the middle. He squares it. Sheldon's there! Marcus Sheldon has scored in the FA Cup final with 4 minutes left in front of the Tottenham fans. He might have just put a dagger through their heart. Ajaria involved in the build-up. Hatswell to a Kenner who we subbed on. It was pulled across. You thought Steele was going to get there. He left it for Marcus. He's been off his game this year. He's not played well this year as Marcus Sheldon. He's popped up with a goal there. And I could go defensive. I could chance it. We're going to stay on the front foot. We're going to play the Wanderers way. And we are going to win a third FA Cup final. Perhaps the least simple final of all of them that we've been involved in. Finally, we beat Tottenham at Wembley at the 4th time of asking. Yep, 4 times we've lost to them at Wembley. Or 3 times before this one. And we'll drink it in, enjoy it. Tammy Ajaria, the right back who came for our academy back in the National League many, many moons ago. He might not be the biggest, sexiest right back in the world, but he can put in an assist. He might not have England caps. He has 2 Premier League titles. He has 3 FA Cups. That's a good career in my eyes. Oh my word. Drink it in. The yellow and black confetti falls. There's tears in my eyes. And we've only gone and done it. Wanderers do the domestic double, 3 FA Cups in a row. That's harder than winning a Champions League, right? Look at that, 3 times in a row. We open up the save game. You might remember looking at the history and Wanderers' kind of prestige, wondering, could we ever match the days of the 70s of 3 FA Cups in a row? Granted, back then there was only 12 teams in the competition. Well, I can tell you now, we've done it. And we've done it in quite some style today. Now, because I'm not officially at the end of the season, I'm actually going to do the Liverpool game and then come back for a little season roundup. We'll look at the overall best 11 and all that good stuff. I hope we can get another win. Otherwise, I might feel a bit sad after all of that. So we did manage to win our final ever game at Wanderers FC. And sometimes you wonder, does Football Manager know? Does it know? Tammy Ajaria in the 94th minute. It was like a magical fairy tale moment. The right back charges forward, tucked it away, got us the win. And this man, I feel like, cements himself in Wanderers history. Yeah, captain and scoring the final goal of the Work the Space reign of 11 years. Quite a good career he's had, if I might say so myself. Let's look at his history really quick. Football Manager, let me look at his history. I mean, when you look at his career here, he's literally been here since the very first season, played so many games, been an ever-present part of our team. And to be honest, he's only ever got better and better. He's actually ended this year with his best ever average rating in the league. Speaking of the league, you can see here, obviously, already crowned champions. 13 points the margin in the end. Brighton getting into the Conference League. Arsenal and Tottenham way off the pace this year. A little bit surprised by that. Ajaria won Footballer of the Year, PFA Player of the Year. Sekou Mara, who was constantly a thorn in my side, he won the Golden Boot, of course he did. And of course, Jamie Pearson won Young Player of the Year. What could have been but some good news to end on. We did manage to win Manager of the Year. And in terms of the Premier League Team of the Year, you can see it here. Andy White managed to sneak in, as did Chrissy Barrett. We love to see it. Here is the overall best 11 here at Wanderers. Caleb Anson. Yeah, Caleb Anson makes it. I don't know if I love him or not. Let me know down in the comments when I do the In the Future video. Would you like me to open it up by actually revealing how good Anson was as the English goalkeeper kind of hierarchy goes? Was there other good English goalkeepers out there? Elsewhere, Ajaria, most appearances for the club, 458. I kind of love the fact that it's playing the old 5 at the back system that we used for a little while. Aaron Ramsey at centre attacking mid, still in China. I'll tell you what, I feel like we sold him at a very good point. Since he went to China, he scored 6 goals in 5 seasons. I got £35 million for this guy. I've actually robbed them there. It's interesting to note as well, I suppose, Wallace, Hatswell, Flood, Ajaria kind of still in the team very much on the regular. Same with Henderson and Phillips. I feel like this gives you an idea of actually how little the team has rotated over the last few years. Of course, some heroes of the save game. Players like George Edmondson, who retired age 35. His headers were heroic. Darko JP as well, 31 years old. Once upon a time, our star man. Now on £25,000 a week. Actually earning a very good living. Of course, we sold him for £5 million to QPR. what feels like a lifetime ago. And if you're wondering what happened to Rashid Mohammed, he's still just chilling in Saudi Arabia, scoring lots of goals. And on the other side of things, Aaron Allen actually somehow managed to get 3 caps for England, which I feel like is a small miracle, but actually he doesn't look like the worst player in the world. Everton actually have been using him semi-frequently. I feel like they've actually done quite good to get him for £7 million. He doesn't look as bad as I thought he might. Now, it does go without saying that now that the save game is over, the save game will be made available in about a week's time. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you want to jump into this save game, continue on from this point, or maybe just poke your way through things and have a look at all the different players. You will have the opportunity to do that in about 7 days' time. Of course, the save game will be available for YouTube channel members a little earlier. So if you're a YouTube channel member, keep your eye out. And if you're not a YouTube channel member, you're enjoying the videos, you're enjoying the streams, consider joining and supporting the channel, especially with no FM25. The people who are becoming channel members are actually making a really big difference, and I appreciate you all. When I started this save game, I thought I'd be ending it with FM25 around the corner. Instead, there is no FM25, but you know what? We have some bloody good memories to end things on. This is going to be the last Park to Prem of FM24. We did rugby before, which if you've not watched, you should go watch the Rugby Town one we did. Guernsey before that. You know what? I feel like Wanderers, slightly different vibe with this whole Park to Prem. I have very much enjoyed it. Now, in terms of the inevitable question, what's next on the channel? I did kind of talk about it earlier. We will be doing some in the future videos with Wanderers. They'll be dropping later on this week. It may only be 1 or 2. We'll see how things are looking. Beyond that, I am going to be streaming very much on the regular and getting back into the swing of streaming Football Manager. Like I already said, we're doing a Gibraltar save game. I'm not going to be doing seasonal recaps of that save game in the traditional sense. The aim is to win a Champions League with a team from Gibraltar. Here on YouTube, as we start entering European competition, every year I basically want to document how far we get in Europe. So there'll be edited stream highlights of the European runs. If you watch the Udinese bottom at Christmas video that went up on Friday, imagine it'll be a similar vibe to that. Probably a little bit shorter. That's not to say there won't be a Let's Play on this channel eventually, but I feel like at least for the next week or two, I'm going to have a little bit of a detox from FM, playing it quite so often, at least when it comes to the Wanderers save game. We'll still be streaming it. If you can't catch them live, you can still watch them on demand. When we come back from that hiatus, I imagine I'm going to be managing a slightly bigger team, further up the leagues, than the depths of non-league English football, but probably not in England. Yeah, between now and FM25, we're going to experiment, I think, with some shorter-term saves, maybe an MLS save. We'll see how much I hate myself and want to try and work out how all the rules work there. I do kind of know the rules in MLS, and they hurt my brain even now, though I know them. Anyway, I do feel like I'm rambling, but once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching and enjoying this series. Know that if you're someone who's got to the end of this final episode, you are one of the hardcore of the hardcore, and I really, and I can't stress this enough, appreciate your support on this series. I hope this final episode feels like we're sending things off at a high and at a natural conclusion. I think in my mind, 3 FA Cups in a row, it doesn't get better than that. Keep your eye open for more Football Manager content here on the channel. Live streams, videos. We're going to be mixing up with the videos a little bit. So keep your eyes peeled. Show those videos some support if you enjoy them. And I appreciate you joining me on this adventure. We'll be back with Park to Prem, I'm sure, in FM26. If it happens, please release FM26 Football Manager. That is my final plea for this series. I'm going to leave things with that. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thank you for watching. It's me, Jack. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.